Okay, let's do it. New Dark Display info debate night tonight. We'll be on talking predictions and more. Get in now. Did you watch the Donkey vid? No, I haven't. Iran nuke news, dude. Wait, what? Iran nuclear news? The fuck? Iran got a nuke? Nice. Good for them. Get your money up. Get your nukes up. Did you see BB No Money fumbled his Fortnite deal? No BB No Money skins coming? I did not see that. Get your nukes up. Not your flukes up. Biden refused a drug test. That's so funny. Anyway, here we go. We're blasting off, boys, girls, and MBs. Let the people fucking know. We're here. We're live. We're alive. North Korea is fighting in Ukraine possibly too. That's so funny. What are they gonna do, bro? Get the fuck out of here. Like, okay, dude. Oh no. A real dude, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Look, I don't make Ukraine predictions. Okay? I do not make Ukraine predictions, but I feel like personally, I don't know if they're going to be the real game changer here, okay? I do think it's kind of funny that like we made jokes about West Korea and it turns out is real. Turns out that shit is very real. Kai talking shit like a real Souls player now. I think.
Crazy. You're not a gamer. 1,000 deaths, LMFAO. Jinxie, you're a quitter.
Ooh.
You are a quitter.
Yeah, bro. That's like, you can't. They Tuesday. Thank you for the 10 community. Give the subs. Yeah, that's like.
You quit on a fucking boss nowhere near the fucking end. You're a quitter. You quit. You quit. Do you understand that? You literally quit. Jinxie, you fucking pipsqueak. Talk about I'm not a gamer, nigga. You don't have the dedication. You don't have the drive. You don't have the motivation. You don't have the mentality. You don't have the drive to do whatever the fuck that you want to do. Why? Because you're in a box. You're in a box. You can't fuck with me when it comes to this Elden Ring shit.
There's nothing funnier than Kai Cenat calling someone a pipsqueak. No way. Bro, he actually got a fucking Fortnite bag and then he fumbled it by violating the NDA. That is insane. For those of you who don't know, BB No Money, friend of the show, okay, phenomenal artist, good friend. He made a meme about like getting a BB No Money skin, right? Like he made a joke about it on TikTok. Then Fortnite reached out to them and was like, yeah, let's make it a reality. Why do we know all of this? Because he posted through it the entire time. It was a joke from the beginning. Read the email. It's a meme. I didn't ask him about this, so I don't know if it was real or not. I regret to inform you that Epic Games will be terminating our partnership confidentiality. With that being said, the team is an enormous fan. Couldn't be happier. It's a total bop. Oh, wait. I'm going to ask him right now. It's a total bop. That seems memey. But you never know, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna text him right now. This is part of the rollout for sure. It's a total bop and we'll keep it on the office. Thanks, Abigail. How do you meme about this? Isn't that defamation or something? I don't fucking know. Hassan spreading fake news. Wait, what? It's a meme, dog. Hold on. Okay. I am now locked into an NDA with Alex and I cannot confirm nor deny the veracity of the statements that you saw. Okay. I am also now locked into an NDA. He fucking NDA'd me, dude. He did that. He NDA'd my ass, dude. Straight up. I tend to ignore folks who call songs bops nowadays. Lol. Dude, people call songs bops. Bop is now also a term for like it's a misogynistic term, I think, for women too. I didn't even know this. I'm seeing it on TikTok because like I see so many fucking FaZe Ronaldo and Jason the Weenie TikToks on my timeline, which I'm not even hating because like they're pretty funny. They're pretty funny, but like in the comments, everyone's always like, "That's a bop. That's a bop. That's a bop. That's a bop." Yeah, kids are not falling hose bop. Yeah, no, they're saying it's always been a term, brother. It's just that the Zoomers have picked it up because they love AAVE. I think knowing that makes you misogynist if that's true. Bob isn't new. It's just AAVE getting gentrified. Okay, well, every fucking term comes from AAVE, chat. What are we talking about? When I say, oh, people are using these terms, you don't have to come in here and give me the etymology, okay? Like, that's just what have white people have not created any new fucking terms other than the racist ones, which they used all of their creativity points on fucking a century ago, and they haven't stopped using. Okay? Every other aspect of this, you were out memed. As soon as you hear people are using this term, you know it is white people rebranding some shit that hasn't been used in 5 years. Exactly. See you later, alligator. Okay, fair. There's a lot of white people terms, actually. You're right. There are some, like, oakley dokley, that sort of shit. Like, white people have invented stuff like that, I think. Yeah, white people lingo. White people lingo tier list. Okay, I have to do this later. J. Cole invented that too. No, J. Cole invented strictly dickly. And I don't know if you want, I don't know if the black community can recover from that. Okay. Maybe we shouldn't put that on black people. Okay. Maybe we should not say that is AAVE or that's like, yep. Why I oughta. That's another one. G Willikers. That's another one. Yep. Okay. Never mind. White people invented a lot of shit. Grimpy. What in tarnation? You betcha. Okay. I love all of this. We have to do this tier list, but later. Why I oughta is misogynistic though. Wait, what? Why? Is that what you say before you beat your wife? Is that why? It's like, why I oughta? Ah, Gertrude, the soup is cold. Like, I feel like that is like the soup being cold is the worst thing that happened to white people in the 50s. You know, you come back home from your fucking unionized factory job where you're making like the current day equivalent adjusted to like cost of living $500,000 a year or some shit in your house that you bought for $10. You have anyway, bro, that tier list is racist as fuck. Okay. Did you see what they accused Dr. Disrespect of? Yes, brother. Yes, I did. Okay. Here's Lena Love Pro. Okay. Who's a musician, model, partner, streamer. I did. You know what? Let's fucking do it. Let's just get right into it. As you guys know, Dr. Disrespect is, you know, is in some trouble. Okay. Is in some trouble for openly admitting that the reason why he got fucking banned from Twitch, even though they found no wrongdoing, was because he was trying to text minors inappropriately through the Whisper, through the application's like Whisper product. And it turns out, in spite of the fact that he's also seemingly transphobic, he also was, you know, he was also a fan, which is, you know, it makes sense. That's called being a chaser. Many such cases. We know Alex Jones is a chaser, for example, simultaneously transphobic, but also wanting to fuck trans girls is pretty classic right-winger shit in general. Yeah, I saw this fucking check the hard drives of every doc defender. Let me see. Yeah, this is a really funny one. Another one of all of my fucking haters, man. All the Destiny orbiters. Can we please stop calling this pedophilia? Was it inappropriate? Yes. But as a reminder, pedophilia is an attraction to minor bodies. That means a pubescent body. If you post some shit about how we should keep calling this pedophilia, just know you're stupid and you're actively contributing to society being unable to have intelligent conversations. Intelligent conversations around what? Dude, it's so funny. Dude, that's great. That's awesome. Keep posting through it, please. Keep posting through it. Everyone thinks you're cool when you do that. Wait, what? It's literally not ephebophilia, you stupid fuck. Unless the main people he consistently is targeting and arouses adolescent minors, he's also not that. He's just a moron. Whoa. That's crazy. She did the thing. She did the meme. She took it one step further. She didn't just say, actually it's ephebophilia. She went, actually it's not even ephebophilia. It's actually perfectly valid. It's just stupid. Who amongst us? Okay, thanks. Yeah, I love having a nuanced discussion about like wanting to fuck minors as a 35-year-old. That is the nuanced discussion that we should be having as a society, and not just like automatically go, that's weird and wrong and don't do that. Gross. That's awesome. Thank you, dude. Genuinely don't get why this is the hill some people die on. I think that it's the hill that people
audience.
What is this? He goes off on Pokemon. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Oh, this is great. The uniter of all of the absolute worst brain rotted people, dude, is awesome. Chatter because they're bad people. Yes. Please properly delineate where the sexual predator's attraction starts and stops. Yeah. You were right about the town crazies having a platform now. Yes. It's just like, it's just wild. It's just wild overall, wild across the board. Okay, but can you admit you're biased when talking about the doc? Can you admit that you're biased because you think that this is a good way to fucking try to bait me into reading your comments so you can say at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, and if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe because that's not actually good. I'm just letting you know it's not a good enough fucking bait at the top of the hour. So, you know, the 2-text baiters need to get better. They need to get better. They're bad. Their baits are bad. Your baits are bad. Get better baits. Okay. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, though. For those of you who are not subscribed, you will be seeing a 3-minute ad break right now. That was a Sekiro parry, dude. I'm on my game right now. What is this? All right, hold on. The gauntlet. Yeah, can we please stop calling this pedophilia? It's great, man. Thank you. Anyway, here's the 3-minute ad break now. So we'll get to this in a little bit. You know who else needs to get better? You need to get better at Elden Ring. I'm decent. If only you could parry that well in Elden Ring. Why are you guys trying to be hurtful? Why are you trying to be hurtful right now? Why are you trying to hurt me? It's working. But not as much because like I am coming off the heels of a lion victory. In any case, for those of you who are wondering, like, why do these people like say stuff like this? I think there's a bunch of different reasons. Some people do it because they want to get clout off of it. Like they think Doc is a big dude, is a big, cultish following. Maybe I'll get some people off of it. Some people genuinely think that this is, some people see themselves in his shoes. Maybe. I'm not saying that this is what her motivations are. But, I mean, this is a Destiny orbiter, so that's all you need to know. Destiny and his entire orbiter community have always stayed on that. Actually, it's a phebophilia argumentation. It's like the distinction between, like, what kind of minor you want to fuck doesn't, like, change the dynamic. You're still trying to fuck a minor. You know what I mean? Like, excuse me. It's a different kind of minor. This minor, I think, could be perceived as hot. That's insane. That's an insane thing to say. Okay? Like, what are we doing here? Because that's the underlying argument that you're trying to make, which is a wild argument to make. And it automatically makes you look like you want to fuck minors too. That's it. Oh, it's just like, diet minor. Exactly. Ay. It's just weird. It's very weird. It's a very weird tendency that I see from some people, which I'm noticing are almost always haters of mine. Always. Like literally. Okay. If you see someone go on a fucking tear, about like, actually it's a phebophilia. Actually, can we have a nuanced discussion about like what kind of minors are fuckable? When you see shit like that, just know there's a Hasanabi hater abound, okay? Red flag. I don't know why it keeps happening like this. I don't know why these people keep revealing themselves like this, okay? But it is just an odd and very consistent situation. All right, let's see another Hasanabi hater. Let's see what he's saying in defense of Dr. Disrespect.
Pokemon, your audience is just jerking off watching you, and everybody knows that. And you know it. Look at her. She's looking down saying, stop that. Look at that cringe. She's cringing at her simp fans jerking off on the stream all day, and she's aware of it. And then she has the balls to go say Dr. Disrespect's a terrible person. Bro, this is my problem with this.
They're both bad people, but like that doesn't.
But no.
What are you saying? Like you're mad? Wait. This doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this. Shocker. Nico, not making sense. Okay. Alert the press. But like, none of this makes sense. Okay. It is like unimaginably inconsistent. Like, it's like, oh, look at this. Her fans are jerking off. One, you're fantasizing about her fans jerking off to her, which is odd. Two, it's not like she's, you know, going, please jerk off to me, fans. I don't think it's a thing that she appreciates, as a matter of fact. So much so that, like, she literally will fucking, like, screen change and shit before she gets up to pee. So, like, you know, she's taken all of the initiative, potentially, to you know, avoid that sort of infraction. And yet, you know, people still do it. And it's a weird thing to bring up in this circumstance when, like, she's not responsible for it. As a matter of fact, she's, like, you know, victimized by it in some instances.
You and everybody knows that. And you know it. Look at her. She's looking down saying, stop that. Look at that cringe. She's cringing at her simp fans jerking off on the stream all day, and she's aware of it. And then she has the balls to go say Dr. Disrespect's a terrible person. Bro, this is my problem with this.
Yeah. Yeah, woman existing on the internet means that, you know, people are fucking sexually harassing her, objectifying her, which of course is also doubly her fault. But also simultaneously, how dare you? Like in the confines of this argument that he has created, it's like a woman automatically means, you know, someone might be jerking off to her, which is bad. It's her fault, and therefore she can never actually complain about anything ever.
They're both bad people, but like that doesn't.
But nobody
They're both bad people. Both sides' argument from fucking this little demon.
Pokemon. There's no hate brigade. Everyone's like,
text a 17-year-old.
but she has 13-year-olds jerking off to her, and she's.
Oh my god. What's the fucking dude's name? Neon. When Neon is the voice of reason, holy fuck, what is happening, dude? God, Sneeko is so fucking stupid.
Fine with them monetizing it. How is that any better?
I get that, but what do you want her to do? Not show her face? Like,
he's like, no, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. Like, honestly, on God, for real. Like, women existing online, that shit sucks. I hate that. I'm with you on the misogyny, but like, pedophilia is a bridge too far. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Or don't get on a moral high ground about
like, I mean, the way she's like, it doesn't look like she's dressed crazy.
But she has no legs to stand on a moral high ground about Dr.
Yeah, he's like, they're both awful people. One of them tried to fuck a minor. The other one's a girl.
Disrespect when Twitch is 13 plus and her entire chat is jerking off to her and she's aware. Like right here.
Bro, she's not doing anything. Like, what are you saying? All of those, like, all the hot tub streamers and shit, like, they're all 18 plus anyway, okay? You're literally just saying a woman existing online invites minors to jerk off to her, which is crazy. It's a crazy thing to say. What is this argument?
Perfect world, what do you want her to do?
Don't talk shit about Dr. Disrespect. You have no legs to stand on. You cannot say that you're better than Dr. Disrespect and be like, cancel.
I mean, we know why he likes Dr. Disrespect, bro. Bro loved cuties too, okay? So
he doesn't deserve a platform when she has thousands of 13-year-old boys beating their meat to her.
I don't think he understands, okay? I don't think this is like, I genuinely think Sneeko is that stupid. Like, in his mind, he's like, I've invented this thing, and I think that thing that I've invented in my head is like just as bad. No, dude, it would be bad if Pokemon was like DMing a 13-year-old, okay? That would be bad. If Pokemon was fucking going around trying to link up with minors at TwitchCon, then it would be bad. It would be gross. It would be predatory. But that's not what she's doing. She's just doing her own thing. Why is Sneeko thinking about minors beating their meat to Pokey? Because he's insane. He is an insane person. He's got minors beating their meat on the mind too much. This was some Shulk level foreshadowing. Listen, kids, I don't have much time. Dr. Disrespect was banned because... Okay, dude. Yeah. Dr. Disrespect is attracted to minors, and minors are attracted to Pokemon are not even in the same fucking zip code, okay? They are on the opposite ends of the zip code. Like, what are we talking about? That is not even... That is insane logic. Sunny Faz, can we stop calling all sub-18 minors? 16 to 18 should have its own name. In my opinion, it needs to be clarified if motherfuckers like them young or like them young. My dad was 20 when he met my 16-year-old mom, and people will call it pedophilia or grooming, but they had the happiest marriage, no cheating or abuse. So it really fucks with my head when people will call me a pedo, even though I've seen it firsthand, this relationship work. Bro, 20 and 16 is normal, especially back then. People in these replies are straight up brainwashed. I'd rather my daughter get married at 16 as a virgin than go through the same hoe trajectory of every other modern woman. Oh my God. Oh my God, what is going on in this application? What is happening? Bro. We are in a very dark territory. We are in a very, very, very dark territory here, okay? Yeah, 90K likes defending a pedo. Western culture, 108K likes now. Western culture is hilarious. If someone takes a 17-year-old, 17 years and 11-month-old, he gets jumped by the whole industry. But if that same girl waits one more month to sell her body on the OnlyFans, she's celebrated by the same industry for being an independent queen. Clown world. Like, it was leaked that Sneeko was buying likes. I mean, it still has 7.5K retweets. It's a very... How does he even know if she was 17? No, he doesn't. But it doesn't matter. He made up a hypothetical. Did you see how Pokemon clapped back harder? She retweeted this with one word, cuck. Imagine being so moronic. You listen to this guy. The only reason where he is at is because he's moderately attractive. Get rid of his beard and watch him lose 50% of his audience. This guy's a cuck to society. Honestly, if you hung yourself, there's no lost society. I also followed you for 10 minutes to let you know how stupid and ill-informed you are. First of all, thank you for acknowledging that I'm hot. That makes me very happy. Like, thank you for acknowledging that I'm so attractive that it is the only selling point that I have, because that is exactly what I enjoy hearing, for the record. Yeah, that's it. Hit with a beard. I currently don't really have a beard. I have a 5 o'clock shadow, but thank you. Thank you for complimenting me while simultaneously asking that without good luck. I mean, you're still saying I'm hot with a beard. I think I'm hot without a beard too, but thank you. I thought he was talking about Sneeko, by the way. No, he's talking. I think he's talking about me. Yeah, but a moron nonetheless. Well, what are you gonna do? A hot moron. Rather be a hot moron than than a not hot one, I guess. Bro definitely likes you and is mad he does. Yeah. Your haters are so odd, bro. I know. My haters hit me on the worst things. They're like, bro, you're hot. You have a nice house and a nice car. I hate that. You're rich, dude. It sucks. Fucking hypocrite. Do your haters not know how to be haters? Like, I know my fans know how to be better haters of mine than my actual haters. I followed you for 10 minutes just to tell you how attractive you are, and also you should kill yourself. Why are your haters so stupid? Bro, what do you mean? We're literally watching what they cook up in the shop, okay? In the marketplace of ideas. This is what my fucking haters are cooking up. Actually, it's a phobophilia arguments, talking about how like a woman existing online invites minors to jerk off to them, which is weird thing to just say, and how that's somehow the same as like trying to fuck minors too is crazy. Anyway, yeah, we know where it hurts most is your gaming skills. Shut up. Yeah. Did you ever think that this is what the internet would become? Lamau coming from E-Bomb's World Live Leak era. I mean, yeah, if left unrestricted, it would inevitably become this, because I think like under the banner, under the guise of anonymity, people say like incredibly unhinged shit. Like what that guy just said. Think about the dude that just came in here and was like, I waited 10 minutes outside in a line, right, to be able to come here and tell you to your face that I find you sexually attractive. You are not deserving of all of your accomplishments because you're simply just attractive, and I find you sexually attractive. If you shaved your beard, you would not be as attractive, and you would lose all of your followers or whatever. And also, I hope you kill yourself and you hang yourself. And if you did that, then society would not be, worse off. Like that is not an interaction that you would normally have, right? That is not an interaction that would happen in the real world. Like no one would fucking come up and say such unhinged shit like that. But online, you can get away with saying stuff like that because you think like, well, I'm anonymous. And that is why we need like terms of service and ensuring that there is, some kind of regulation so we can foster decent conversations, right? Did that guy get banned already? Because I want to see what else he cooked up. I hope he didn't get banned. But that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, anonymity creates this like weird protective barrier over like letting the craziest shit fly. So that's why I think a lot of people are also simultaneously fucking, because it's the only way to get your attention is to compliment you, then let you know how stupid you are. He's so triggered, bro. F Palestine. Like McGrew was like, nope. Best he cooked up was lol. You were so triggered, bro. Had no ingredients left to cook. I know. Yeah, you got me, dude. I'm so triggered. Weird. But yeah, that's my point. My point is that like this guy thinks that you know, being anonymous, he could just like say stuff like that, and other people will look at that and go like, yeah, people are gonna think I'm brave for saying this. You know what I mean? But not really. Yeah, F Palestine. It means free Palestine. That's why I unbanned him. Anyway, have you considered getting a plugin for closed captions would be helpful? No. What is happening? Anyway, so the new revelations came up, and I don't know the accuracy or the truth. Okay, about these revelations, but like, here's Lena Love Pro saying, during that time in 2017 when he was cheating on his wife with not only me, a trans sex worker, but also another woman, and texting a minor, he was exploiting me by making me give him cam shows with the promise of partnership. After the cam shows, he went ahead and blocked me. I don't know what this is. What is it? Just edit. Oh, stop it. Hi, doctor. How are you? Photo shoot tomorrow. Too nervous? Like, people are saying it's fake. Well, good luck. I'm gonna try ready to get some sexy cosplay images. Then after I can punish you. Oh yeah, how so? Don't know. What is this? Don't know. Have to get. Bro, what is happening, dude? Do these people not know how to write? What the fuck? I can assure you it's not fake. Lamau Lena is the real deal. Don't know how to get a good strategy. We shall see. Ha, still waiting. Yeah, I'll think of one soon. Overwhelmed. Packing for tomorrow. Not sure. A smooth black leather or latex. Don't know. Nice. Feel like releasing one right now. Yummy. Should I let it go or hold on? Let's it go. Spray it out. I need something. What do you need, doc? I'm sure you have all these e-girls ready to serve you. Lol, no. Lies, no way. You gonna watch my explosive intro? The goddess must be worshipped from head to toe before you can explode. I want the rewards. And then the licky face thing. Emoji like the tongue out. Hi, hun, how are you? Daddy, you need to shout me out and spoil me. Thank you. Just added you on Snap. Put his Snapchat username there. Miss you, doc. Thanks for unfollowing, stranger. Are you going to PAX East? And then what is this? I tried to snap you. Did you delete your account? Yes. Oh, okay. Feels bad. Sorry. I will try to vid chat you soon. I'm heading to the gym. Got to get fit, but don't be a stranger. Message me sometime. You got to get some photos sent your way. I mean, I'm gripping now. Boom. Nice firm grips while I worked out. Yum. This is how straight men over 35 talk to their potential partners, unfortunately. Firm grips to the Champions Club. He said, ooh, grippy. That's what he said, bro. This is fake, right? I mean, I don't know. It could be. It would track if he was also a tracer, though, like, for sure. Because, like, he's done some he says some transphobic shit, so it would track if he was also personally a chaser, like Alex Jones. There's a picture of them meeting up. Really? She met Dog in 2017. Met the handsome legend Dr. Disrespect at TwitchCon. Oh shit. Okay, well, who knows? Wait, where the fuck was it? Oh, here's the rest of the. I'm gripping now. Boom. Nice firm grips while I worked out. Yum. Hey, love, do you know anyone close with that could see if they can give me a Twitch partnership? I tried. They're pretty locked down right now. Focusing on popular games and impact the streamers on those games, unfortunately. Okay, this actually kind of makes this seem way more real. The victim was trans? No. This is a trans sex worker who Dr. Disrespect was like sexting. Bro, this dude was horny, man. He was just fucking, he was going balls to the wall everywhere. I tried. They're pretty locked down right now. Hope all is well. Oh, fuck. I missed the last part. What is it? Wait, peekaboos? What? Hope all is well. Fun at work. I'm stuck with a cold. Fuck me. I kind of stopped playing games. I've been doing IRL. Giving it 1 month gets me. If not, then I will go back to games law. Just Alex from partnership. So hard. 2017 Doc Gooning run was unmatched. Yeah, no, he went for like, I mean, dude, he targeted everything, which is pretty crazy. It would be kind of funny if Nick Merckx was like, yeah, all the other stuff I can excuse, but like, you know, getting horned up at a trans woman, oh, that's unacceptable. He was the goon champion, man. He was a demon for real. Like, that's not. He was just everywhere all at once. He was trying to grow a second dick so he could cheat on his wife further, you know. Yeah, it's a real. I fuck so much pussy. I might switch to bussy line right there. Oh, I gotta run that back. Hold on. What was the name of that song? I want to listen to it.
Twinkle lame, that twinkle bitch, that twinkle pussy. We got Henny, we got Saints, we got Cookie. I fuck so much pussy, I might switch to bussy.
That's what Dr. Disrespect said. Doc secretly hella progressive. For those of you who don't know, like, wanting to fuck trans girls doesn't make you necessarily progressive at all. Okay? You need to understand something. That does not make you progressive. As a matter of fact, Alex Jones, there's a term for it. It's called chaser. When you fetishize trans people, but like are still, and also due to that fetishization, you like think of them as simply just an object of desire and not like a real human being, and are like unimaginably transphobic. That is being a chaser, right? And so it does make sense on that front that he was like being transphobic. Dr. Disrespect was rejected a Starfield sponsorship due to his recent transphobia. He then got triggered on stream because the head of Bethesda Publishing has pronouns in his bio.
Got it. Okay. Now everything's starting to make sense. Everything's starting to make sense now.
Yeah, I mean, does having sex with women, cis or not, make you misogynist? Fuck no. Exactly. No, I'm simply saying that, like, having sex with women doesn't automatically qualify you for misogyny, in the way that, like, if you are a transphobic person and you want to fuck trans women, you are a chaser, though. That's what I was trying to say. Like, that's just how it works. I mean, there's an entire fucking term for it, right? Almost all chasers have like, I mean, all chasing, like being a chaser still makes you like a little bit transphobic in the nicest way, even if you are like it, no matter what. If you were like specifically like, oh, I need to fuck trans girls, like I need to fuck trans women, like then you're fetishizing trans women and it's weird, and you're otherizing trans women. So like even in that situation, it's still coming from a transphobic place. But like most chasers are also personally on top of wanting to fuck trans women, are also literally like super outwardly transphobic and are self-loathing, like they despise their own sexual attraction. So that's it. Trans doesn't exist. It is just a fetish. You're an idiot. What are you even saying? You're an idiot. Transphobic isn't a real word because being trans doesn't exist. It's just men dressed as women. Thanks, man. From the brilliant mind of one of my haters. I love not insta banning haters like this, because they just like keep revealing how fucking unimaginably stupid they are. Like voluntarily too. It's just like no one is goading him into doing this. He's just personally like, you should kill yourself. You're hot. Also, like, trans women don't exist. Actually, it's a fiction. It's made up. Wait till this guy hears about trans men. No, you're unlocking new things in his world, dude. He's gonna go crazy. Anyway.
Everything's starting to make sense. Got it. All right. I got it. So I got to say this, Chance, for just real quick. I just got to get it off my chest. Obviously, we've been hyping up Star Citizen for Starfield for a long time. We've been making it very vocal, right, Champs?
Chips. Yeah, dude. That was such a funny run when gamers tried to be mad at like the optional pronouns that you choose in the fucking video game that is an RPG that gives you customization options. Being upset at additional customization options in a fucking role-playing game is the funniest goddamn thing, dude. Like, I can't believe it.
We had our team reach out. Hey, can we work with you? Can we do something? Due to past controversies, there's no way we can work with Dr. Disrespect. How about just give me, like, let me play the game when some of the others are playing it. How about that?
Whoa, what is kid stuff? Whoa. Surprised he didn't click on that one. Got him.
Yeah, that's still the case. Anyways, champ, we just had to get that off our chest.
I mean, that is true. Someone said Dr. Disrespect does drag every stream though, wig and all. I know. It's always the cattiest bitches.
I say your name.
The two-timer who cheated on his wife, filmed a teenager in a public bathroom, makes racist jokes about Asian people, thinks he's on the moral high ground by telling Bethesda not to add pronouns in a video game because it hurts his feelings.
Sounds like I'm starting up a motorcycle. How the hell do I say your name? Sounds like I'm starting up a motorcycle. A Chinese motorcycle. Have you ever heard of a Chinese motorcycle, ladies and gentlemen? No.
Hey, yo! What the fuck? He's a boring streamer. I remember thinking he was funny when he was commentating in a video game tournament, but I watched him once and found him boring. That's crazy. Dude, woke culture killed this, by the way. Okay? Let me tell you something, okay? Woke culture destroyed this kind of thing. Only Asian people can do that. His level of racism was legendary in the H1Z1 days. Like every match, man, it was insane. Yeah. He's apologized for speaking fake Chinese, too. He has glasses on. He could be Asian. We don't know. Bro, we know. We know. Anyway, do you think he's as funny as Tyler Fisher? Now, that was straight up racist. Yeah, of course, dude. This is I mean, this is peak comedy right here. Fuck, I didn't even realize. I didn't realize shit was like that. This is the same Dr. Disrespect diss track that we already saw, bro. I already listened to this.
Tell me how you is a dad, but you act like mini lad. Now you going on vacation cause you trying to flee the nation. You was at that you another desperation. With your wife got no relations, you done fucked up. Got a face and it whispers in your basement, think your brain need a replacement. You the doctor, obsessing over a kid like Mr. Crocker. Should have blocked her, but instead you turned into a disco modder. As a father, tell me how you would have felt that was your daughter. Caught you where you don't belong, like from Among Us. You the imposter, gaining sympathy on Twitter, but that shit was just a fail. Only map you'll be designing is that of your local jail. Someone call him CPS and get him right up on his tail. Get in touchy with your words and I ain't talking about no braille. That's on God. Got a bulletproof vest, but you ain't ready for these shots. All these holes in your story like a fish pair of Crocs. You invested in these miners like some S&P stocks, and you cheated on your wife with that kid on Roblox. Stop thinking with your head, only thinking with your crotch. You don't use dating apps, you use the comments on TikTok. 6 foot 8, you try to find a jack to climb up your beat stock. Hey, thought you need to stop. Hey, thought you needed 7 years to own up to it. Got exposed, so now you do it. Why'd you have to go pursue it? Had it all and then you blew it. Hey, he a freak, he a what? He a freak, he a freaky ass streamer, he a Twitch whisper god. Freaky ass streamer, he a Twitch whisper god. Hey, run for your life. Hey, okay, let me hear you say Dr. D. Dr. D. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Dr. D. Dr. D. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Hey, okay.
That's crazy. That is Jesus Christ, dude. That is nasty work. That's nasty work. That is holy moly. That is nasty work. Okay. Is this really what your content is? Remember when you were political? Now you're honestly just a beta? You're so right, dude. It is incredibly beta behavior to make fun of a 42-year-old man for trying to fuck minors. I know. It's actually real alpha to be a 42-year-old man who's trying to fuck minors. And it's very beta to make fun of. Brother, what are we talking about, dude? What is going on? I'm literally fucking 6'4", 230 pounds, brolic as a motherfucker. This dude is over here talking about some beta shit. God damn. And he's gonna be like, dude, listen, fucking got him. You're triggered. No, okay. Before you come in with this, like, no, I was just pretending to be a fucking dumbass bullshit. Okay, let me tell you. I'm brolic. Your mom would love to have sex with me. Either die a beta or live long enough to date on Roblox. Yeah, and then you become alpha. Something wrong with you? I mean, yeah, there's a lot. Okay, let's move on. Let's get to it. Let's get to the actual news, okay? Former Army chief arrested after coup attempt in Bolivia fails. Now, I talked about this yesterday briefly. We covered it briefly because the coup itself was brief, and it was mostly just like not a real coup. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Listen, I did something that I normally wouldn't even do. And I told you that a Latin American country having a coup, don't think it was the CIA. Think about that. Think about how quickly they packed this shit up. There's something very odd, very suspicious about the way that this coup was like planned. Okay. The United States had nothing to do with that. Stealthy Fed agent. I don't think so either. Shrooms. Left wing, naturally a dumbass, yet still a femboy. This guy acts like he wouldn't bottom. Bro, you take it up the ass, grow up. Bro, you believe trans women are women, so why listen to you? Yeah, he's smiling in the chat. He's laughing. Not a care in the world. He's not crying. I promise you. Anyway, oh God, are you going with the self coup? Jesus Christ, Hassan? No, I don't know. I'm not saying that at all. I just don't personally think it's I don't know if it was like, no, I don't think this was a CIA coup. Even the CIA would have had like a little bit more of a organized thing going. Okay. Like Evo's own party said it was a self coup. Yeah. There's suspicions given that there is a lot of back and forth between Evo Morales and the current president, even though they're from the same party, the Moss party, obviously, people are speculating that it might have been like, the current leadership to make themselves look cool in comparison, and then be like, oh yeah, we thwarted this coup, that kind of thing. Nah, Hassan, this has got to be baby's first coup and the intern trying to make a name for themselves. Well, I will tell you this much. Part of the reason why I thought it was like initially very suspicious is that the last coup d'etat people disavowed this coup d'etat, okay? What was that lady's name? Janine Áñez or whatever? Like the fucking far right ultra nationalist Christian fascist, Christo fascist woman was like, yeah, this coup sucks. Don't do that. Like, come on, dude. Now that one, that one was a little bit more, had the makings of a op. But having said that, I don't know if this was how do we know when it's CIA or not? How do we know when it's CIA? Well, here are some clear markers of what it looks like when it's the CIA doing a coup. Okay. One, they have like a clear person that they are going to put in a position of power. Okay. They have a person that they already have, oftentimes from the Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Or like a big business owner who's like a right-wing freak, right? That they already have in their mind that they will put into the position of power. The international Western communities and Western leadership, especially the United States of America, will very quickly recognize the new government is legitimate. Okay, that's another one. And then the new leadership will say things like, we are reaffirming our commitment to Israel. That's one. Or we are privatizing our extraction industries. That's another big one, even bigger than the Israel thing. And yeah, that's usually those two. If you hear some random Latin American country go, we want to privatize our national resource and our extraction industries, and also we are committed to beefing up our relationship from Israel. And there's another third one. You're right. We're going to decouple from China. You know, that's usually the makings of a American-backed move right there. Okay. Another marker is, they're anti-corruption, but that's like the Democratic version of this. But basically, none of those things happened. It happened so fucking fast. It happened so goddamn fast that like none of those things even happened. Like the only thing that this like supposedly rogue general wanted to do was that he was mad that Evo might run again, and that's unconstitutional. So I feel like that was like a weird ass reason to try and do a whole ass coup, and then they very quickly packed it up. Watch the Democracy Now! Coverage fool. Failed coup in Bolivia. Army chief arrested after leading troops attack on government palace. I'm not saying it's definitely not the CIA. I'm simply stating that, you know, this was weak. This was weak nuts for the CIA. Like, this was worse than like the fucking Venezuelan dudes that got packed up by fishermen, or even the Congo one. I don't think was like CIA. This might be like a local homegrown version, you know, or maybe even something is just suspicious. That's all I'm saying. Something doesn't pass my smell test. I can't put my finger on it. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
To overthrow Bolivia's democratically elected government has been stopped, and the former army chief behind the failed coup d'etat.
But yeah, one of the biggest reasons why I said that is because like the actual fucking CIA-backed coup d'etat people from the prior coup literally were denouncing this coup immediately.
Was arrested in La Paz after a dramatic confrontation with a Bolivian president inside a government palace. President Luis Arce reportedly told Juan Jose Zuniga, "I am your captain and I will not allow this insubordination." Zuniga was later shown handcuffed on national TV before being forced into a police vehicle. This all comes a day after he was relieved of his duties. Earlier, armoured vehicles were seen ramming the doors of the palace as armed troops surrounded government buildings. But the soldiers withdrew after the newly appointed army chief ordered them back to their units. President Arce had called on the public to mobilize in defense of democracy.
So did Evo, by the way. Not every coup is a CIA plot. There are still internal bourgeois interests that have their own interests. Those are interests usually aligned with the CIA operations, but not always. This was just reactionary. Yeah, I think this was more reactionary than it was like a CIA op.
The Attorney General's office is now vowing to impose the maximum punishment on the perpetrators of the attempted coup. CNN's Stefano Pozzebon has a closer look now at how it all unfolded.
In the end, the attempted coup was defused in a matter of hours, but only after army units took control of the city center of La Paz and military vehicles quite literally rammed the doors of the presidential palace.
Yeah, the split in Bolivia's left has reached catastrophic proportions, with the MAS party accusing President Luis Arce of staging yesterday's coup. The National Committee of MAS, currently controlled by supporters of Evo Morales, made the claim today in a press conference. Now, Red is like, I'll be honest, Red is Russian government ops, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what their position is on this matter. It could be either they're pro Evo or they're pro Arce. I can't really tell. Morales and Arce are currently locked in a faction fight over who controls the party. Morales and Arce are currently locked in a faction fight over who controls the party and who can be presidential candidate next year. Luis Arce supporters have a parallel national committee of the party. However, the electoral court still legally recognizes Evo Morales as one. Arce and Morales have been publicly fighting over the party. Yeah, no, this is the other dynamic here. But yeah, ultimately in Bolivia, an attempted military coup against President Luis Arce was quickly thwarted soon after it began Wednesday night. Arce, part of the left-wing movement for socialism, the MAS party, has already named a replacement for the coup's leader, General Juan Jose Zuniga, who called for democracy during the attempt. See, now that is a marker for CIA, okay? Let me tell you that that's a CIA momentum right there. That usually is like, oh yeah, we're doing this for democracy. We are violently attempting to overthrow the current democratically elected government that is popular for democracy. Is, you know, exactly what you hear usually. I love doing a military coup for democracy. Anyway, Arce was elected in 2020 after the third re-election of Bolivia's previous president, Evo Morales, one of the founders of MAS, for an unconstitutional fourth term, was overturned by pressure from the military and the police. Although Bolivia is a fragile democracy, there is a very little popular support for the military, while popular civilian support remains with Morales and MAS. And that is what the convo was about on Democracy Now! Okay, let's see. But let's watch this first.
They met a firm response from the sitting president, Luis Arce, telling rebel General Juan Jose Zuniga to stand down.
Ryan Grimm having to argue that with people saying Latin America doesn't need the CIA to coup itself. What? Of course, is morons virtue signaling about it. Well, I've blocked this person and I like Ryan, so I suspect that this person is wrong. Stop doing coups in Bolivia is not happening for you. Meanwhile, Bolivia under Mas has had basically the fastest reduction in poverty anywhere. Deal with it. Where did I say it was done by the U.S.? Nowhere. I don't think it was, and I don't think so in real time. Get a grip. Oh, come on. The implication is pretty obvious. Stop doing coups in Bolivia. Who are you talking to here, Ryan? You're just engagement farming. It's so disgusting. You used to be so reputable, man. Who's the one making assumptions? I said stop doing coups in Bolivia, and you automatically assume I'm referring to the United States. Who's the myopic gringo? Not every tweet is about the United States. I am well aware the Bolivian military has agency. I outed the former defense minister in 2020 as trying to organize a coup, and that reporting got him indicted. So you're talking to the wrong person. You're an idiot. Yeah, that is pretty funny. He went, stop doing coups, and this guy immediately went, oh, he means America. Yeah, there's internal struggle. There's infighting inside of Mas, so that could be part of the reason. You know what I mean? The president looks like he's defending Evo Morales. The coup guys are doing this coup. The military tries to do this coup, specifically targeting Evo Morales, which, by the way, I don't think that these guys mentioned on CNN, but they said, we do not want Evo Morales to run for re-election. Okay? Like, that is an insane thing. Like, maybe do the coup after, dog. What do you mean? They're like, no, we're going to do a coup now because we're worried that he might run for re-election. That's a crazy thing to try and do a coup over. Okay? Anyway.
It fills us with bravery and courage to keep on resisting any coup attempt, because Bolivia deserves its democracy, which has been won in the streets and with blood, brothers and sisters. Zúñiga, who had been the head of the Bolivian army since 2022, was detained shortly after and is now under criminal investigation. It appears Zúñiga decided to move against the state after his dismissal on Tuesday. He was fired for threatening former President Evo Morales from running for re-election. We are the armed wing of the people, the armed wing of the fatherland. A worrying sign of how Latin American militaries may have become more comfortable taking bolder actions.
The armed forces have gained more and more involvement. They have more of a say in public affairs.
Yeah, but they don't have enough popular support. Like, enough popular support from even the right, especially for this. Usually, you got to have some fucking civilians that are on board, okay? You can't just be like, yeah, we're doing it just with the military. Because if you try to do it just with the military and not enough civilian support, then the civilians are going to come out and be like, yeah, fuck no, dude, we're fighting against you. And in which case, it's entirely dependent on how much America wants that country to be a dictatorship led by like a fascist dictator like Pinochet, that will implement neoliberalism in the country, or you know, whether or not they have enough popular support. And if they don't, like in Venezuela, it failed with Chavez. Zúñiga also apparently claimed Arce orchestrated the coup, which is another oddity. Oof.
And frankly, this has emboldened the military in thinking that maybe, you know, civilians absolutely need them. And it generates this sense among the population that civilians may be unable to solve policy problems, that they really need the militaries to step in.
In the meantime, Arce had immediately appointed a new army chief, and by sunset, there were no more soldiers in the city center of La Paz, only regular citizens on the street defending democracy. Stefano Pozzebon, CNN.
Yeah, they immediately did a popular mobilization of the citizens, like, and Evo Morales was pushing for it, Arce was pushing for it inside of Bolivia. So,
Bogotá.
We want to bring in CNN's Julia Vargas Jones now, live from Los Angeles for us, and you've been following all of the developments. Now, political turmoil, of course, not new for Bolivia, but these events really did break new ground. What more are you learning about exactly how and why these events unfolded?
Well, Paula, what's really striking to me is how quickly it all happened and how many images we have, how much the cameras were given access. We saw this play, you know, scene by scene throughout the day. Look, Bolivian military takes the square. We see those images of the tanks ramming into the doors of Palacio Quemado in La Paz, capital of Bolivia. And then we have that incredible video of Luis Arce, the current president, facing off against his former head of the military. I think, again, that is the defining image of today. He's basically saying, you are not welcome here. He also really relied on his supporters who came in en masse to see him and help him, defend him by the palace. This is what he had to say.
They wanted to surprise us and the Bolivian people. We responded, and the mobilization of the people also allowed us to defeat this coup attempt today. Thank you, Bolivian people.
Like, why the fuck did this dude stand down so easily? You know what I mean? Like, and there was a lot of coverage on it. There's even a photo of him directly staring at the coup general. It's just like, a lot of this just feels weird. That's all I'm saying. It said post-nut clarity hit him quick. I don't know. It just feels odd. It feels odd. He folded harder than Prigozhin.
And the Attorney General is now vowing to impose the maximum punishment on the perpetrators of the coup. But Paula, this message that this will not stand is being echoed not only in Bolivia and in the region. We're seeing reaction from Spain, from the European Union, all in condemnation of what happened today.
You know, what's so interesting here is how Evo Morales, you know, that looming figure on Bolivian politics, how he...
Don't beat around the bush. I'm not. I am telling you, honestly, I do not know. I do not know who is responsible for this. I don't know if this is CIA. I don't think it's CIA. It doesn't seem like it's CIA. But I'm not ruling anything out. Like, the options are, it's either the CIA or like interested parties that want to extract lithium, and it's so close to the United States of America in comparison to all the other places that you can get lithium from, and like, that's one option. The other option is that, like, Arce did like a self coup so that he could pack it up quickly and do it to basically he knows Evo he knows Evo is still the leader and the founder of the party, and therefore, like, he has to make it seem like he's in defense of Evo Morales and is like putting his own body on the line to defend Evo Morales, right? So, like, so then they turn around, and I mean, he turns around and he's like, see, I thwarted this coup. It's like theatrics. Could be the you know, that could be another reason. I mean, I don't know. There could be other parties involved as well. It could be just a psycho general. I don't know. What just happened? Felt like there was an earthquake or something, but I don't know. Maybe not.
Is very clearly involved in what went on today. Can you explain?
Well, of course. Well, first of all, you mentioned that Zuniga had lost his job on Tuesday. That was after he made comments saying that basically the military would have to act if Evo Morales actually won the election that he said he planned to run for next year in the presidency. Now, I don't know the background of this and how it actually came to be, Paula. We don't know the backstage action of this, but we do know that Evo Morales was a mentor to Luis Arce for many years. He actually handpicked Arce to run for the presidency, and they have had a bit of a rift. And over the past year, since Morales said that he wants to run for presidency again, it has come off as a bit of a challenge to the very predecessor that he had picked to be in power. Meanwhile, Bolivia is going through...
That's wrong. They said they coup if he even runs in the party primary. Yeah, they were like, we hate Evo Morales. We want to coup the country. We want to coup and take over and put someone else in power because we're scared of Evo Morales. We hate Evo Morales so much. He's serving 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. We hate that. And we don't have $5 to avoid seeing the ads at the top of the hour. Like, that's the type of shit that they were saying, which I thought was weird. I was like, damn, these guys are Hasanabi heads? Like, that's weird. Not knowing that Evo Morales is a big gifter in the chat, allowing chatters to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour as well, you know? So, it's interesting. Here's 3-minute ad break now.
A handful of, I would say, economic challenges, both of reduced energy production, the inflation, devaluation of the local currency. And Arce is seeing
General Santi Morales made comments about interfering in the elections and got fired. So he did a shitty coup as a tantrum. He only claimed it was a self-coup after he got arrested. Before that, he was still talking shit even when the coup obviously failed.
The challenge by this towering figure that is Evo Morales as not really helping the situation. They've actually come to a political rift inside their own party. It's become a quite fraught relationship with accusations flying left and right in this kind of political, personal relationship playing out in a national stage, Paula.
Now, middle of the night right now in La Paz, and we will continue to keep an eye.
Yeah, the coups are falling off.
Military forces, Bolivian President Arce addressed the protesters.
It fills us with bravery, courage to keep resisting, to keep on resisting any coup attempt. Because
how the F is Evo being blamed for this? He's not. I don't think he's being blamed for this.
Bolivia deserves its democracy, which has been won in the streets and with blood brothers and sisters.
Hours after the failed coup, Bolivian authorities arrested rogue military commander General Zuniga and his alleged co-conspirator, Navy Chief Juan Arnes.
Why didn't they arrest him immediately after? That's weird, too.
Meanwhile, President Arce has sworn in new heads of the army.
What do you think of the coup in Turkey a few years back? Was that a fake coup by Erdogan that entrenches power? No, that was definite. I think that was an American-backed, Fethullah Gulen-backed coup, for sure. Erdogan, of course, took advantage of it. I don't know how much he knew about it potentially happening, but he certainly took advantage of it. But that was very real. There is, like I've said before, there is a deep state in Turkey. That's where the deep state conversation comes from. There's a parallel government in Turkey beyond the deep state. The American CIA asset quite literally had people all the way up in the court system, all the way up in the police force, all the way up in the fucking military. That shit is like, that's not a joke. So for sure, those were very real fucking, bro, they were using fighter jets, which were getting refueled in American military bases. Something to think about. It's a very odd situation. They had fucking pilots, bro. So how'd that happen? How'd they get the F-16s to fire up and get refueled on American military bases? Anyway, yeah, Turkey has an actual deep state with a counter guerrilla, not some made up shit about turning people into femboys. Yeah. Is that the Turkish dude who's currently hiding out in central Pennsylvania? Yes, in the Poconos. That is Fethullah Gulen. The risk of Arce could lose if he was found out doing a self-coup far outweighs any possible benefit. This theory doesn't make much sense, and I'm not even sure what the actual material benefit would even be. Yeah, I don't know either. I'm saying that, like, that is a suspicion that people have. It just makes him look strong and, like, wins him favors with, like, the Morales defenders inside of the party base. If he's trying to become, like, the guy and thwart Evo Morales personally. Are there any cases in history where false flags have been staged by the government for reasons like this? The only thing that even comes to mind is the 1957 coup attempt in Jordan. Though that wasn't even a real attempt, that wasn't coordinated with the alleged coup plotters. It just seems far-fetched until we get actual evidence. And the general may as well have cut his losses short once he got to the palace, since the general strike was already called and all. Yeah, it could be. It could be literally, it could be just like the general being fucking annoyed and just kind of crazy. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, this did not feel like it was some CIA shit, especially because, like, the possible CIA backed people literally immediately said, this coup is not real. This is not our shit. This is, stand down, please. Okay.
Navy, and Air Force. For more, we go to Cochabamba, Bolivia. We're joined by Catherine Lederber, director of the Andean Information Network. Catherine, welcome back to Democracy Now! Can you explain what just took place on Wednesday in Bolivia?
Thanks, Amy. Well, it's very hard to explain. You know, we had tanks filling the main plaza in front of the government palace. This all happened, a little bit after lunch at 1:30 p.m. This is after very strong statements from an army the top army commander, Zuniga, and this unexpected rush of tanks and of military personnel that really harked back to the 2019 coup that's still very fresh in Bolivia's memory. They forced their way into the political palace. Zuniga demanded the release of Coup the 2019 coup political prisoners such as Fernando Camacho and Janine Áñez, made the obligatory reference to his testicles, always a part of a macho military move. And somehow the conflict within a number of hours.
I am straight up streaming the fucking debate tonight, okay? I'm streaming it. I'm streaming the debate live, okay? I'm streaming it. I'm streaming the debate.
Diffused, and Zuniga walked away, and Arce swore in new military leaders. But you know, this is a military that's accustomed to having coups. It's a country that's had more military coups than any other Latin American country. And we see here that the Bolivian armed forces aren't firmly entrenched in democracy still, and that the consequences of 2019 and the impunity that continues has really been corrosive here.
Catherine, if you could explain why this attempted military coup now, and what was the relationship between President Arce and the military chiefs?
Well, we're at a point in time where the Arce government's under a great deal of pressure. There's an economic crisis. The state lacks a lot of resources because of a great reduction in the income from oil and gas revenue, while the state has to continue to pay for imported petroleum at increasingly higher prices. So we have empty government coffers. We have a right wing that's discontent. We have a crisis with the Bolivian Constitutional Court extending its own mandate illegally, and that of the Supreme Court, and blocking judicial elections that are mandated by the Bolivian Constitution. You have the carryover from the 2019 coup, and really after that coup, although some military officers have been prosecuted and jailed, there hasn't been any restructuring of the armed forces. There hasn't been a fundamental change in vision. And I think that Arce, perhaps with the best intents, does not understand security issues very well. Remember that he was Morales' finance minister, and I don't think he's been particularly strategic in the choices that he's made for military commanders. And so you have an institution that appears to be not firmly under democratic control, a government that is feeling pressured and cornered. And at the same time, there's an intense conflict within the MAS party, a strong divide between Arce and...
Big L. Not cleaning house is a big L, okay? If a fucking right-wing reactionary coup occurs, you got to fucking clean house, okay? Here's a Hasanabi guarantee, all right? You got to clean house. You can't do that. You kidding me? Nope. No ands, ifs, or buts. You got to do that. You got to do that shit. 100%.
And his former boss, three-time President Evo Morales, that is also leading to greater uncertainty here in Bolivia.
Can you talk about what the general was alleging, that this was an auto golpe, right? Self-coup, that he was carrying out the wishes of Arce. How outrageous or reasonable is this?
Well, Amy, it's impossible to...
Would you execute Zuniga? No, you don't have to execute him. Maybe a little bit of re-education, you know? Maybe a little bit of re-education. Make him work a little bit, you know what I mean? At a labor camp, that sort of thing. No exile. I don't like exile. I think exile is shitty. Then they always go to America. Fuck that. No, send him to the countryside. They need to build roads, you know? No, I hate exile. I think exile is bullshit. Make them do community service. Like, what are you talking about? No, you got to execute them or they try again. True and on rule. No. Listen, as much as I respect Brace, successful re-education has occurred in Maoist China. Think about it. That's the method. I'm currently testing his Maoism. I don't think he's sufficiently Maoist. Yeah, the Puyi method. Exactly.
To say, it's a quite confusing situation. I've never actually seen a coup attempt that began at 1:30 and ended at the end of the Bolivian workday promptly at 6:30. Zuniga had made very strong threats about arresting Evo Morales, Arce's now political opponent.
I think the Belden program is revisionist. Yes, it's not sufficiently Maoist. That's all I'm going to say. If the Belden program believes in exile, then I'll say it. I'll be brave enough to say it. It's revisionist.
And it wasn't clear whether or not he had been fired. But no one saw this coming particularly. Suspicions arise because Zuniga, who was never a stellar officer.
Exile sucks, dude. It doesn't fucking work. You don't want these look at Pinochet, for example. Like, Pinochet literally escaped prosecution. Like, are you fucking kidding me? No, I don't think you should be able to go live in like Florida or England, okay? I don't think that that is like appropriate. And there's obvious examples of like exile not working with Napoleon. You need like, you need rehabilitation. I'll use a liberal term for it. Okay? Look at the Dalai Lama. You literally have two examples coming out of China. Yeah, one example of successful rehabilitation, one example of exile not working.
Was handpicked for promotion to general and then army commander by Arce. They play basketball together. They have a close personal rapport, and he was perceived to be Arce's strongest ally within the Bolivian military. So it's not clear whether things soured or what exactly happened. But it was interesting because generally in a situation like this, bullets are fired to impede the military from coming into the State House. That didn't happen in this particular.
Yeah, the Sino-Soviet split has nothing on the Hassan-Belden split, the Hassan-Bray split, the Piker-Belden split. Yeah, Cuba exiled in Florida. Yeah, that's another L. Okay, you can't just like give up on your reactionaries. You can't just be like, yeah, make him someone else's problem, especially when that someone else is America. Okay, fuck no shot, dude. This is in-house problems. Okay, we're dealing with this shit in-house.
Case, and Zuniga was not arrested at the time. He walked away from the main plaza or drove.
Yeah, that's also weird as fuck, by the way. That's the other thing that I was like, this motherfucker, they let him go? They let him go? And he wasn't on the first flight out of Bolivia on a military plane directly to Florida? Are you kidding me? And you're going to tell me this was a CIA-backed coup? It's also weird that he just like, it's also weird that they just like let him walk out. Hey, sorry. Okay, let's let bygones be bygones. Like, what do you mean?
Away and was only arrested later that evening. So it's a very bizarre framework for a coup attempt. Zuniga's affirmations are problematic. I think we have to put them in the context of his position, but it's a very unusual form of coup attempt, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. There were threats of violence, but no actual violence. It'll be interesting to see in the coming days how this evolves.
You said earlier, Catherine, that President Arce was not so strategic in his choices of military chiefs. What is your assessment now of the people he's appointed?
I think it remains.
These plans were always built with deniability. If it worked, the U.S. would be back in the new government. This guy jumped the gun and they fucking flubbed it. Of course, the U.S. wouldn't claim it. What do you mean? They would still, the State Department would make statements like, we are very concerned with what's going on in Bolivia because the people demand democracy or some shit, though, even if it failed. Like, the State Department would come out and be like, it's very obvious that, like, there is discontent among the Bolivian population given Evo Morales' unconstitutional and undemocratic fourth-term presidential run. And the people of Bolivia spoke on this day. Like, some shit like that. You know what I mean? They wouldn't just be like, yeah, this was a L, lol.
To be seen, I haven't been able to look into their particular military career, but you have a defense minister who was a Morales minister, but in another area. I don't see that the Arce administration.
By the way, most of the things I've mentioned about like how the CIA attempts successful and unsuccessful coups is like directly seen with Juan Guaido. Juan Guaido literally came to America. And instead of like fucking campaigning in Venezuela, building a fucking solid base of support for himself in a time when there's so much fucking discontent and volatility as a consequence of like the dire economic circumstances that the Venezuelan population is facing. He fucking came to America and was like, you know what the Venezuelan people want? Reaffirming our commitment to Israel and also privatizing our oil industry. And it's like, okay, dude, like, yeah, sure. Definitely. That's what the people were yearning for. You know what I mean?
Strong suit is security issues or reform of the security forces. And I think there dramatically needs to be an intense, profound reform of both institutions that received payment in 2019 to disobey Morales and to report to a right-wing uprising. So we've had these inherited long-term problems that aren't being addressed. We're seeing cycles of coups throughout Bolivia's history, or cycles of military commanders that make assertions, may be fired, may be arrested, may be imprisoned, but we don't see a profound change within the institution itself. And I think that's highly problematic. And I think that that's probably an issue in most Latin American countries.
So presidents across the political spectrum in Latin America condemned this attempted coup. Can you talk more about the role of the former president, Evo Morales, that he plays in the current politics of Bolivia, Catherine?
Yes, I think the support from Latin American countries was crucial and it was rapid. I think it's important to highlight that a very bland, watered-down message came from the Biden administration. And of course, we're beginning to become used to that. Morales handpicked Arce, who was elected by an overwhelming majority in the 2020 elections after the violence, the incompetence, and the corruption of the interim Áñez government that was illegally put in by the military with the support of the Trump administration. But as Arce's administration has progressed, Morales has become an outspoken critic for a number of reasons. The perception, the MAS party was originally considered a coalition of grassroots organizations, social movements, unions that had direct input with the executive. And the perception from the Morales administration is that most of the Arce ministers are upper middle class men that are personal allies of Arce, but don't necessarily represent social movements. And in fact, when there have been protests about different ministers and requests from grassroots organizations that those ministers have been changed, Arce has maintained them in.
That's a zesty flag. Bolivian flag is sick. I also love the hats. It's awesome.
Power. So there's one key issue there. There's another key issue about the stigmatization of the Chapare coca growing zone by the Arce administration, tagging it again as the center of drug trafficking, as the U.S., the DEA.
Look at those, dude. Look at those fucking hats, dude. They're so
and
dope.
Far-right governments have that has promoted a lot of friction.
I gotta pee.
Criticisms from Morales on the way that the Arce government has dealt with oil and gas administration, economic administration, the disappearance of dollars in the Bolivian economy, and fuel shortages that have affected the government. So there's been an impasse between the two sides of the MAS government that other progressive governments around the continent and the Grupo de Puebla have worked very, very hard to try to overcome. And this divide has become increasingly greater. It's something that's very worrisome as we come to the 2025 elections and the suggestion that the right may well come into power.
And so Morales' response to this coup and where you think it goes?
Well, it's interesting that Morales' response was one of the first responses. He was the first person or one of the few people originally to denounce a troop movement, an unexplained movement of troops in La Paz that was worrisome. And he also denounced a coup attempt, and he denounced it vigorously. And, and then Arce denounced the same thing. And so seeing the troop movement, seeing the tanks in the plaza, seeing the soldiers filing in, it was very, very worrisome, and Morales expressed those sentiments even before Arce. So I think that at that point in time, it's the first time they've agreed on anything in months.
And Catherine, before we end, if you could say, you hinted at this earlier in one of your responses, if you could explain first of all, how much support President Arce still has among people, and what the both class and physical divides are, the highlands versus the lowlands, poor versus rich, in terms of support for President Arce, and perhaps also some who support the military.
Well, I would say that there's very little popular support for the military in Bolivia. I mean, they poll very badly. They poll even worse after coup attempts. The same is true for the Bolivian police force. This was something that I don't perceive had any popular backing. The Bolivian citizenry do not want to return to violence.
Yeah, they need to send Aisho Speed out there as the American cultural envoy and fix this shit up, okay? He's gonna go link up with Evo, and then he's gonna link up with Arce, and then he's gonna unite the Mas Party.
Human rights violations and states of siege. But Arce is facing a lot of difficulty, also about the not calling out or denouncing the High Court's self-extension of their mandate, something that's completely illegal, and then having the Constitutional Court rule in favor of Arce is something that's been a great problem signaled by the other side of Mas, by justice experts, and even by the opposition. So, Arce is in a very delicate position. He perhaps has received a respite from the pressure for 6 weeks, perhaps, with the relief of the population that democracy has been maintained. But it's a fragile democracy, and I think that in the long run, this incident will bolster Arce in the short term, but demonstrates a vulnerability that we should all be concerned about in the long run.
Catherine Lederber, we want to thank you so much for being with us, Director of the Andean.
Who would Bolivia prefer lead? Probably a lot of Latin American countries are susceptible to strongmen, like charismatic strongmen. It is a little bit of a weakness in terms of like long-term continuation of any kind of ideological project. This happened with Chavez in Venezuela as well. So I would assume that, I mean, I don't actually know. I genuinely know. I genuinely don't know. Sorry. But I suspect it's probably Evo Morales, but machismo trumps a lot of thinking in Latin America. Yeah. I mean, but it's not just like, it's not machismo, but like, it's not just strongmen in the sense that like, in the way that you understand, like a Vladimir Putin type. I mean, like a charismatic leader, and Evo certainly is. So I think that, that is, I mean, I don't know. A lot of these guys personally end up not cultivating like a decent continuation plan as a consequence of like controlling, as a consequence of like genuine fears of infiltration. And beyond that, I think like, they just kind of get invested and want to maintain their grip on power. And I think that actually is a weakness in general. But if Bolivia has an alternative they like and is suppressed, maybe that's the goal here. No, I don't think Arce is more popular than Evo Morales. That's the entire reason for why there's internal conflict, I think, within the Mas Party. But yeah, that is an issue. The squad suffers an alarming defeat. I don't want to fucking hear these guys. I feel like this is going to kill me.
Incredibly shrinking squad. Far-left Congressman Jamal Bowman suffering a double-digit.
They're doing fucking victory laps on this Jamal Bowman shit. Ay, ay, ay.
Loss against his House Democratic primary challenger, George Latimer. It's an alarming defeat for the group of far-left lawmakers, and Bowman, might not be the last squad member to go down. The scandal-plagued congressman had just held a last-minute campaign rally in the Bronx with liberal heavyweights like AOC and Bernie Sanders. That was not enough to win over voters, and Bowman is not taking the loss well.
We should not be well-adjusted to a sick society. We should be outraged. We should be outraged when a super PAC.
That's all. Hey, great question. Why are Republicans celebrating a Democratic primary? Why is that? Like, so odd. So odd. That's weird. Why are they throwing up W's for a Hillary Clinton-backed candidate winning in the Democratic Party's primaries in District 16? That's really weird. George Latimer was backed by Hillary Clinton. Because let's be real, okay? At the end of the day, everyone's a liberal. At the end of the day, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party's interest in terms of like the Democratic Party's interest and the Republican Party's interest in terms of like maintaining this, you know, subtle back and forth with no real progressive challengers, with no real leftists or anything like that, or anything even close to a leftist, is what they want to do. They would rather oust any kind of person that's ostensibly further to the left than the average Democrat, and every single person would celebrate that across the board in the political in our political sphere.
Of dark money can spend $20 million to brainwash people into believing something that isn't true. Unfortunately, some so-called Democrats are aligning themselves with radical, racist, right-wing Republicans.
So he cannot find it to say that he did anything that led to this. It had to be, you know.
Bro, it's not like he redistricted himself. Like, what are we talking about? Like what do you mean? Is it the fire alarm? Is that why he got fucking lost? Were you stupid? You have to have a baby brain to look at the situation and be like, well, he lost because he pulled that fire alarm. Like, that's it?
Once a victim, always a victim. Last week, Bowman shouted, "We're going to show them who the F we are." Last night, voters...
It's just crazy because, like, under the watchful eye of Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party was so against primary opposition that Nancy Pelosi even went as far as defending Henry Cuellar, among many others. And for some weird reason, the Democratic Party, maybe in the absence of Nancy Pelosi's reign of power, has kind of dropped that a little bit. Like, not pushing the ranks and getting the entirety of the Democratic Party to back Jamal Bowman in this district. Very weird. Very odd stuff.
Found out who the F he is, a loser. I enjoy this, I have to admit. But a lot of progressivism is losing. And there's a reason for this. If you look at this.
Yes, because America's a fucking fascist nation. That's why dipshits like you are not in jail or a fucking re-education camp and instead chirping on television to millions of fucking people, further rotting their brains, okay? That's the real reason. Oh, progressivism is a loser. Progressivism is losing. It's a losing battle in our fucking pre-Nazi Germany, Nazi rise to power American empire stage. Fucking Greg Buttfeld, shut up.
Streets, the homelessness, the mental illness. People are sick of crime. Illegal immigrants streaming into our cities. Activists targeting kids with gender affirmation surgery. You have, thanks to Bauman, you have masked activists targeting Jews on subways and synagogues. So all of this is a package deal. You know, I think that Democrats, primarily Jewish Democrats, have figured out that progressivism isn't just anti-Trump, it's anti-you, right? And maybe this is the beginning that Democrats are starting to see that this is not a good match, and they're coughing up.
Yeah, dude, that's why they definitely voted for Latimer because they were like, wow, Jamal Bowman's, like the entire district was like, we hate Jamal Bowman's position on Palestine. It's so radical. That's why. Bro, let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. The notion that the American population is not overwhelmingly on the side of Jamal Bowman across the board, especially in the Democratic Party. Like, in the Democratic Party, we're talking 80% margins when it comes to Palestine, okay? Jamal Bowman's positions demanding a ceasefire and even restricting weapons transfers to Israel. Like, these are positions that pretty much 80% of the Democratic Party aligns on, okay? Suck my fucking dick. Oh, it's so radical. It's so crazy. It's so radical. Yeah, dude. That's the reason why AIPAC literally fucking spent all that money not on ads, attack ads talking about Jamal Bowman's positions on Israel, but instead on a whole litany of other shit like Jamal Bowman is actually anti-Biden administration's policy goals. It's so fucking bullshit. It's such bullshit. The attack ads did not feature Jamal Bowman's positions on Israel, okay? Because AIPAC understands that if they were to do that in a Democratic fucking primary, no matter how reactionary they are, and no matter how invested they are in the continuation of Israel's apartheid and Israel's genocidal ambitions, okay, that the American population does not like that. Yes, I did say this the other day. I said that they were, but the reason why they fucking dumped $20 million into this race was so that, you know, people in the media would turn around and say, yeah, he lost because of Israel. Okay. And I told you that. That's money well spent, baby. That's Fox News, just like other mainstream media outlets, doing the exact same shit. They are barking like the fucking dogs that they are. This is just a dramatic reframing of events. Okay. It's a way to make it seem, it's a way to just basically tell everyone to shut the fuck up. Okay? Oh yeah, you fucking talk shit about Israel, this is what happens to you. Okay?
Coughing up these fascist.
Yeah, also for the record, if that was the position in the legislative primaries in New York, 10 WFP and DSA backed lawmakers lead lead challengers, none too close right now. 3 incumbents challenged from their left are also leading, though one only by 52 to 48%. Representative Juan Ardilla was ousted by the DSA-FP Working Families Party-backed challenger Claire Valdez in AD 37. Make that 11 in the first bullet point. I was only counting assembly members and missed the state senator who also won. They didn't even reveal the donations from AIPAC. They were routed through a fake pro-democracy front to hide AIPAC's influence and involvement. Exactly. Seems to me progressives are still popular in New York City. Of course they're still popular in New York City, in spite of the New York Democratic Party's best attempts to fucking thwart them, including redistricting certain areas. Look at who didn't vote for Bowman. Progressive economic policies and pro-peace foreign policy are popular amongst working class black and brown voters, less popular with affluent suburban voters. Perhaps Democratic strategists shouldn't be so quick to dismiss what Representative Bowman stands for. Yeah. In Westchester, George Latimer threw up insane numbers. In the Bronx, Jamal Bowman, 83%. They're diluting these districts specifically because, you know, this is a good way to ensure that the Democratic Party in New York State, stays a stronghold for the worst institutionalist Dems. Okay? Same with California as well. Will the debate be streamed? Yes.
Fur balls pretending to be so-called reformers when they're actually making society far worse, much like Jesse.
Well,
didn't even hear what he said.
I know you didn't. I saw.
The other thing is, I mean, a lot of people in his district thought he was a buffoon.
Yeah, and that's your district. I think you were one of those people, Judge Shanine. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You're getting a new congressman.
Thank you. I'll take credit.
And he is a lot better than Bowman. AOC lost too. She put a lot of political capital.
AOC won by 80%.
Into that rally. That was a humiliating rally. She's never going to live that down. The running, the jumping, the hip hop. Not a good look for her, and it's going to cost her. And it's good to have radicals on both sides. We have our radicals. They have their radicals. Fine people on both sides.
She would be a great sub. He would be a great sub for Joy Reid when she takes her mental health break.
He's going to be on MSNBC tomorrow night. Chris.
Yes.
But it's not just radicalism that lost. Anti-Semitism lost. He wasn't just pro-Palestinian. He obviously...
Bro, AOC got 82%. Okay? AOC got 82%, which is, you know, identical to Jamal Bowman's percentage in the Bronx as well, by the way. Okay? It's just like, I hate this shit. I hate these fucking pieces of shit so goddamn much.
Did not like the Jewish...
These guys are doing Bashar al-Assad numbers, okay, in their districts until they get fucking redistricted.
People, and he's right. A lot of Jewish money poured into the race, but the Jewish money didn't brainwash people. The Jewish money just amplified this guy's anti-Semitism.
The Jewish money. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh my God, bro, they're doing I like that they're doing the anti-Semitism themselves in an effort to say Bowman is anti-Semitic. They're like, yeah, these Jews and their money, they're fucking pulling the purse strings up here. It's like, bro, there's hella fucking Christian funders of AIPAC, okay? Tactical anti-Semitism. God, I hate it.
And said it's disgusting, and everybody in the district agreed. And Cori Bush has a problem too. All right, she's now in a dead heat with some guy down there.
I like that he's saying, like, no, you don't understand. Jewish money is actually influencing our elections, which is already like anti-Semitic. But he's like, but he also follows that up with, but that's a good thing. So basically, dude, that's awesome. Like, that is so funny because that is ultimately the anti-Semitic pro-Zionist position. Okay. Yes, Jews do control the media, and yes, we like it. Is literally the position, okay? The position of many, many pro-Israel anti-Semites. Many such cases.
Because of her anti-Semitism. So you could lose 2 squad members, and I think that's probably best for the country.
What was the feeling in the district, Judge?
Oh, Bowman is, you know, he didn't understand his constituency or his constituents. You've got in West.
By the way, a lot of these guys, I think, don't care or understand that, like, when you say shit like this to a Fox News audience, like, they literally are just gonna be like, yeah, I'm glad the Jews did it right this time, but, like, I don't think they're fucking coming back from that and thinking, like, you know, I don't think it's a good thing that you're just saying to your fucking reactionary audience that, like, Jews control our politics, okay? Like, an inherently anti-Semitic thing to say. You're on the one hand, in the short term, maybe making it seem like this was a good thing, but ultimately you've built or solidified the foundational anti-Semitism that exists already. It's crazy.
Westchester County, and it's a very small part of the Bronx, a very affluent suburban community. I ran in the whole of Westchester County whenever I ran for DA. It is, and judge, it is a Democrat county primarily. George Latimer is a well-respected individual. I worked with him when he was on the county board of legislators. He's the county executive now. This guy Bowman was a guy who was a hater. And he was negative. And he was someone who was convicted of, you know, pulling the fire alarm, censured for doing it. He opposed the resolution in Congress that was, I guess, the House resolution opposing Hamas. And he denied that there were rapes and that there were murders committed on October 7th. I mean, everything.
Yeah, Jamal Bowman is an October 7 denier. Like, he thinks it didn't happen. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, dude. He didn't condemn Hamas? Yes, he did. What are you guys fucking insane? Are you guys crazy? Post October 7, you think there was a single fucking congressperson that didn't immediately condemn Hamas? Are you out of your fucking mind? Of course he did. Like, what are we talking about? Dude, I couldn't have a conversation with another human being without having to do 8 condemnations of Hamas. The fuck? Did you guys forget? Why are you sweating? I'm not, but my forehead is shiny. Yeah, it was, dude, condemnations of Hamas. I would wake up and condemn Hamas like at least 5 times before I even got out of bed. Okay, just to be ready for the day.
That he did was inconsistent with the group that he was representing.
Social justice. Fat people sweat a lot, bro. I love the, yes, you're right. I'm very fat.
And I think along with who he is, he never called Latimer last night. Every politician concedes. He didn't concede. He's a classless individual. He tried to make it about class. It was about decency. It wasn't about class. And he can blame AIPAC, American Israel PAC, he wants. But AIPAC didn't do what he did. AIPAC didn't support Hamas. AIPAC didn't try to destroy the Jewish people the way Bowman did. He called.
Oh, God, them fucking crying about this shit is so funny. All right, it's fine. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. AIPAC never destroyed Jewish people. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm skipping the rest of this. I can't do this.
I do want to break.
Here, there's a pretty solid Supreme Court decision rejecting Purdue Pharma opioid settlement that shielded the Sackler family.
From our conversation just for a moment to get back out to Pamela Brown and Ellie Honig, because we have a new decision coming down from the Supreme Court. They have rejected the multi-billion-dollar Purdue Pharma opioid settlement. Is that right? That shielded the Sackler family. That's going to be very controversial. Pamela, what can you tell us?
That's right. The Supreme Court rejected this.
What the fuck? It's too soon. Kick has no plans to preemptively ban Dr. Disrespect, says Kick's head of strategic partnerships. I think it's just too soon to even consider that. Based on what I've seen with okay, they're leaning into it. They're literally leaning into it. They're like, no, we are the pedophilia platform. Like, they literally are leaning into it, I think. I don't see the guy making a comeback anytime soon. I think he genuinely wants to take some time off and decompress. He added, I wouldn't even comment on that. That's awesome. That literally is just, they are genuinely just marketing themselves as like the little St. James Island of streaming platforms. Respect. I was just joking personally when I said like Kick's about to give him the bag for this. And it turns out it wasn't a joke. It turns out that joke was a prediction once again. How is that possible? I don't know. Why can't I ever I have the gift of prophecy, but only for the worst shit, okay? Like, I can never have foresight for good things. Only the dumbest, stupidest, worst things possible. Anyway, here's a big, beautiful boy in flight on his way to the debate. Trump leaves GA ahead of the Biden showdown. Anyway, Supreme Court rejects Purdue Pharma opioid settlement that shielded the Sackler family. Let's get back to it.
Controversial settlement, Jim, that essentially, on one hand, would have sent billions of dollars to treatment programs and victims of the nation's opioid epidemic, but also it would have shielded the Sackler family from future lawsuits. So what we're learning right now is that the Supreme Court rejected this, and this, Ellie Honig, to bring you in, is a win for the Biden administration.
It is, because the Biden administration had challenged this settlement, Pam. So just so people sort of have the context here, Purdue Pharma is the manufacturer of OxyContin, and they've been sued and had legal proceedings brought against them by the United States Justice Department. They also entered into bankruptcy, and as part of a bankruptcy agreement, Purdue Pharma agreed to give up $4-point-something billion to go to treatment, but they also got a benefit in that agreement, which is that future claims, future lawsuits against them were exterminated, were extinguished in advance. And part of the agreement that the bankruptcy court agreed to is, okay, you're going to give up all this money, but future people cannot sue you for this. And the Biden administration challenged that, and the Supreme Court has now agreed with the Biden administration. The Supreme Court has said you cannot extinguish future lawsuits. And the sort of lineup of justices is really interesting here.
How do you feel about RFK Jr. not being in the debate? Bro, I feel terrible, okay? I wanted him on that debate stage only for the memes and because I think it would be really funny. But unfortunately, he was literally just simply not popular enough. They said that he didn't meet, they said that he didn't have enough support, which, of course, we don't believe. We believe that they're lying. Speaking of RFK Jr. law, I cheated on my wife and drove her to suicide. Did you know that when they found her, her fingers were stuck inside the rope around her neck? She tried to save herself. My independent policies will create an America of, by, and for the people, not the wealthiest corporations. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, that's like information about the mysterious circumstances in which his wife died. On April 15, 1994, Kennedy married Mary Kathleen Richardson aboard a research vessel in the Hudson River. They had 4 children. On May 12, 2010, Kennedy filed for divorce from Mary. On May 16, 2012, Mary was found dead in a building on the grounds of her home, Bedford, New York. The Westchester County Medical Examiner ruled the death as suicide due to asphyxiation from hanging. Later, it was reported that Mary had seen Kennedy's personal journal from 2001, in which he recorded sexual encounters with 37 different women. Kennedys and killing women, name a more iconic duo. I'll run away. Yeah. How do you feel about the PSL not making a debate? Dude, stop. Slatty Matty, you're so fucking annoying. You just said this, and the most annoying chatters are going to go crazy. This is like PSL Andes in the chat, like PSL beyond activism, okay? The electoralist PSL Andes in the chat are literally the come to Brazil mentioned chatters in this community, and they never stop. You just did that. You just did that, and now we are going to have all 30 of them constantly be like, but dude, why won't you advocate for PSL? It's coming. It's coming. The onslaught is coming. Pumpkin spice latte? No, man. What the fuck kind of leftist community is this? PSL, okay? PSL electoralists. The Socialist Party. Advocate for, yeah. See, there you go. There it's starting. Claudia and Karina are really good options, not gonna lie. It's happening. I don't know how I've avoided the Jill Steiners. Like, I don't have as many Green Party guys in here, but I have a lot of PSL guys in here who will always be like, Gloria Riva, Gloria Riva, Gloria Riva. It is shocking. Timing of this, as everyone is focused on the debate scoop, the Biden administration is expected to soon release 500-pound bombs that were part of a weapon shipment to Israel to put on hold in April over U.S. concerns about Israel Defense Forces military operation in Rafah. Nice. RFK Jr. is doing this instead.
F. Kennedy Jr. here, over 70% of Americans want a different choice than Presidents Biden or Trump. They're tired of voting for the lesser of two evils. Presidents Trump and Biden colluded with CNN to block me from representing your voice.
Biden and Trump cut a deal on the debates, then the fighting started.
Blocked me from representing your voices, but I'm not going to let them silence us. Go to therealdebate.com to watch me answer the same debate questions live.
Oh my God, that's so funny. The debate is at, yes, the debate is at 6 p.m. Pacific. 6 p.m. Pacific. It's in 4 hours, okay? But the only hour you should be thinking about is the top of the hour, because right now there's a 3-minute ad break coming for you. Dude, the amount of willpower I'm demonstrating currently, not fucking turning on Elden Ring before the debate, it's incredible. I've managed to never really hear your thoughts on PSL, just getting annoying people spamming it to you. PSL's great. Okay, I've had card carrying PSL members on the stream many times over. They're awesome. They are at the forefront of a lot of great activism, especially pro-Palestinian emancipatory movements and anti-war initiatives, anti-imperialist initiatives. They're great. As far as like their electoral chances, they're shot. Okay, so you know, it's just like, I think PSL Andes do a little bit of the you know, they'll win if you vote for them type shit when it comes to it. And it's just like, PSL stands for Party for Socialism and Liberation. That's just not how voting, I mean, that is how voting works. No, that's not how it works. I've spoken to my local PSL members and admins, and their take on Palestine is some of the most liberal imperialist shit ever. Maybe they don't speak as PSL as a whole. Wait, really? I've done my job here. Have fun talking about PSL for the rest of the day, brother. I'm going to fucking ban you from the Discord. Yeah, that's actually kind of shocking, because PSL is usually even further left than the DSA across the board on a lot of stuff. Son, I'm not exaggerating when I say half of your community is leaning towards voting Kennedy. He's a basic bitch damn, but they want a third party to win for that reason alone. What? What are you saying? No, half of this community is not gonna vote for RFK Jr. What the fuck? I have literally never, and I mean never, I've only laughed at people talking about RFK Jr. as an alternative. I've never said anything even remotely positive about him. What are you saying? No, you saw people memeing that they're going to vote for the brainworm candidate, or otherwise. This is a certified Hasanabi head classic. Some motherfucker from Canada being like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm voting for RFK Jr." Or some motherfucker from not America being like, "No, I'm definitely voting for RFK Jr. Shut the fuck up. I'm voting for Trump." And then you see that and you go, "Oh my God, they're doing it." Like, you took it seriously. You won't poll it? No, of course I won't poll it, because everyone's going to say RFK Jr. now. And then some fucking rabid hater is going to clip it, and then it's going to go viral on Twitter. And I'm going to have to deal with the most annoying Blue Anon Debras and Barbaras in perpetuity. I can see articles being written about it even if it reaches like terminal velocity. No fucking shot. We are not polling that. People do not understand that the memes that we make in this community oftentimes are presented to the public as very serious, very real things. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I have advanced hockey. I can see the future, especially when it comes to, avoiding minefields. I'm literally voting for RFK. He's the most anti-capitalist and anti-war nominee available. You can't deny. Listen. That's all I'm going to say. I'm suppressing the vote, just like RFK's voice is being suppressed tonight. I'm suppressing the pro RFK voices once again. Okay? Hold on. I am from North Africa and RFK Jr. has my full support. I'm voting for RFK in the Iranian elections. That's how he's going to become president. Okay, let's get back to this fucking Purdue video. Come on.
Completely cross-ideological both ways. The majority is Justices Gorsuch, Thomas, Alito, Barrett, and Jackson. That's a group you don't see often together. The dissenters are Justices Kavanaugh, the Chief Justice Roberts, along with Sotomayor and Kagan.
That's
so,
fascinating.
yeah, you're never going to see this alignment again.
You don't see that. Let me just follow up, because for the viewer that might hear, but wait, it's rejecting the settlement that would give billions of dollars to victims of the opioid epidemic and treatment programs. What about that?
Well, so first of all, it sends them essentially back to the drawing board. They're now going to have to try to come up with a different bankruptcy agreement, but the court's judgment is it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional to cut off the rights of people who might sue in the future, but just haven't sued yet. That's really the gist of the decision here.
All right, so a win for the Biden administration, as you just laid out. Ellie Honig, back to you, Jim.
All right, Pamela, Ellie, thank you very much. And Gloria, I mean, this opioid issue it's a massive issue across this country, and it's one that maybe we just don't cover enough. The damage, the
movies have been
wreckage,
made about it,
movies, and so on.
Right. Look, people want the opportunity. Big Pharma is not popular, and people want the opportunity to be able to sue Big Pharma. And the Biden administration said, look, we don't want to cut it off at any particular point. And I think, when you look at what's gone on in the court so far, and again, we haven't had the immunity case, but the Biden administration's done okay, and which is sort of surprising to some people. Again, we don't have the immunity case, but the Biden administration folks are not disappointed in a lot of these rulings.
Yeah. And Jamie, we are waiting not only the immunity decision that pertains to the January 6th case, but this other January 6th case, which is also very important.
Right.
Yeah.
That one is a little more complicated. It has to do with sort of a very narrow definition of the law about obstruction. And it actually was brought by defendants in January 6th rioters. When you look at it, that particular charge was not brought across the board. It was brought for the most egregious, serious cases. So that is something we're waiting for. Obviously, because of that and because of the case against Trump, people are looking at that. Legal experts are arguing over whether that could also pertain to Trump's case. Some legal experts say maybe, very narrowly. Others say not at all. But again, we have to wait for the decision.
Right. Could potentially affect Trump, but we don't know.
Right. And both of those decisions obviously could push that January 6th case, that Jack Smith case, well past the election. And voters may not have the opportunity to hear the facts of that case before going to vote.
Well, I think at this point, given how close we are to the election, I think we have to assume that we're not going to hear these cases before the election. I think that would be the best bet. I mean, Jack Smith has been trying his darndest, and you know that from the case in Florida, for example, the document case, that the Alvin Bragg case in New York seems to be the only one that the voters have been able to see to fruition. And by the way, I think that is something that Joe Biden might mention this evening, the felonies, and just to kind of dig it into Trump. But I think these other cases, and it's upsetting to a lot of people when you look at the polling. A majority of the American public believes that these cases should have been tried before the election.
All right, the Supreme Court has decided a case that impacts abortion rights across the country. The court has ruled to allow doctors to perform abortions to treat a serious medical emergency in the state of Idaho. That state has a near total abortion ban. Now, this follows the justice's decision to overturn Roe versus Wade 2 years ago. So I want to bring in CBS News Chief White House Correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, the White House was very, very quick with that statement as soon as the official decision was rendered.
Right, and we're hearing first and foremost from the Biden campaign, Vlad. They did quickly release that statement. I can read part of it to you. They say women's health, lives, and freedoms remain in peril across the country because of Donald Trump. So they're clearly trying to...
Lol, A1 chair reactions here, guys. Such content. Wow. Bro, you know you don't have to be here, right? Yeah, I walked away to grab my food and take a piss. Okay, suck my fucking dick, chatter. Who the fuck says A1? How is this still the meta chirping about this shit?
Shift the attention back to Donald Trump, who Joe Biden will be debating here in Atlanta later on today. We're still waiting to hear from the president himself from the White House. We're expecting to hear from the vice president as well. I'm told that that will come soon. For now, the Biden campaign is trying to make this all about Donald Trump, the fact that he appointed conservative justices who led the way in removing Roe v. Wade in the first place, and that's something that we know Biden is going to try to bring up tonight at the debate as well.
So the other question about the debate,
we got
Nancy,
1760.
is what other topics is the president expected to bring up, specifically as it relates to January 6th? We're still awaiting a decision from the Supreme Court on that, presidential immunity, and on the convictions that Donald Trump faced here in New York.
No question Biden is going to try to bring up January 6th tonight as part of a larger theme that he's looking to strike about Donald Trump and what the campaign says is his dangerous approach to power. They are going to say that Trump simply cannot be trusted to sit in the Oval Office once again. Biden is going to hammer home that Trump is now a convicted felon. He's going to say that he has courted political violence and that he has been involved in efforts to chip away at democracy. So that's going to be a big theme you hear from Joe Biden tonight. And obviously, January 6th and the insurrection is all tied up in that, whether we have that Supreme Court decision about immunity in time or not.
All right, Nancy Cordes for us in Atlanta. Nancy, thanks very much. We'll check back in with you a little bit later. Appreciate it.
Good evening from Nottingham, where Rishi Sunak and Sir Keir Starmer have clashed over tax, immigration and welfare in their final head-to-head debate before polling day next Thursday. It was a heated confrontation during which they faced questions from a live audience behind me who challenged them to explain and justify their stance on integrity in politics, the cost of living and Brexit. Well, our political editor, Chris Mason, is here. What stood out for you, Chris?
For me tonight, Rita, it was all about the tone. It was all about the exchanges as opposed to the content. I mean, of course, the content matters, but much of that will be familiar to regular viewers over the last 5 weeks or so. But it was the exchanges that defined tonight. It was a more free-flowing debate than we've seen in previous debates in this campaign. There was more anger, there was more passion, there was more jeopardy. Rishi Sunak had nothing to lose tonight, and that defined his approach, I thought.
What's worse, UK or US politics? They're the same. They're literally they're like, it's the same situation. It's a lock for Labour to win, but like, one still has the NHS, yeah, barely, not for long. Why is Starmer bad? I don't understand. Starmer is literally the exact same thing as the modern Democratic Party. It's just like a lighter version of Tory politics. I mean, I'm sure that John Oliver, yeah, it's here. Don't worry. We have that on the docket. We'll get to that.
He really went for it. You could feel that. Keir Starmer had everything to lose, and you could sense that too. But he was much more aggressive than he was a few weeks back when the equivalent programme took place on ITV. I think he'd kicked himself a bit after that debate for being insufficiently aggressive as he might have seen it. Tonight, the scripted put-downs were there from both of them. The things that they anticipate might be clipped up on social media in the coming minutes and hours and circulate with a half-life between now and polling day. They were prepped. They were conscious of what was at stake. It was quite a watch.
When this campaign started, it felt like spring. Summer has finally arrived, for now at least, here in Nottingham. And so too, the two men wanting to be Prime Minister the weekend after next.
Good evening.
Tonight's the beginning of the sprint finish to polling day. First up, Sue, and you probably won't be surprised by her question.
People are dismayed by the lack of integrity and honesty in politics today. After the recent allegations about political betting, how would you restore trust in politics?
This takes leadership. What I did when one of my team was alleged to have been involved and investigated by the Gambling Commission, they were suspended within minutes.
I was furious to hear about these things. That's why I've dealt with it. But the choice of this election is about, as Sue said, it's about leadership, it's about integrity in politics. And that's a question about doing what you say. Keir Starmer's made this broader point, but the point is, he's changed his mind on every major position that he's taken.
Sir Keir jabbed back. What about wider questions of culture in government, he asked.
This isn't just, what's happened this week, last week in the Gambling Commission. We saw Partygate earlier in this Parliament. The Prime Minister himself was convicted and fined for breaking the rules which he brought in and imposed on everybody else.
Next, on to a question about benefits as the exchanges got more punchy, energised, personal.
And I just want to address Beverly's point.
You opposed it when I announced it. You literally opposed it.
If you listen to people in the audience across the country more often, you might not be quite so out of touch. Beverly,
you're going to have higher welfare under you, and that's why you can't deliver tax cuts the way that I can.
The Prime
and
Minister
people
said,
should not surrender to this.
If there's that much wrong with the system, who's the guy in charge of the system over the last 14 years? Why is it so bad?
Well, you want to be in charge, but you've got nothing to say to people about what you would do about it.
We're an island. Why can't we easily close our borders?
If Keir Starmer is your Prime Minister, all those illegal migrants will be out on our streets. And that is the choice for you. Do not surrender our borders to the Labour Party.
Steve, this is complete and utter nonsense.
On the numbers.
Sir Keir said, hang on.
If it were working, why are record numbers still coming under your watch, Prime Minister? How on earth can you say it's working?
Labour want more return agreement.
Bro, this is literally this is identical. Keir Starmer trying to outflank Rishi Sunak from the right on immigration. It's just identical. Do you understand why? Do you understand why I'm saying that, like, the Western civilization is falling apart, okay? Western liberal democracy is dying. And it is dying, and it's running over, it's basically running the same exact, like, fascism cycle that it did not that long ago. It hasn't even been, like, a full 100 years at this point. It hasn't even been a fucking full century, and they're running it back.
Which Rishi Sunak took the mickey out of.
Iran, Syria, Afghanistan. So when Keir Starmer says he's going to return people, is he going to sit down? Are you going to sit down with the Iranian Ayatollahs? Are you going to try and do a deal with the Taliban? It's completely nonsensical what you are saying, right?
Next, the economy and Rishi Sunak returning to a favourite theme.
Wait, why not? Wait, what? Is that, like, out of the question? Like, that they just think that, like, Iran, for example, is just, like, led by, like, barbarian apes or something? Like, you can't even have a conversation with the leadership? Bro said diplomacy is for pussies? Yeah, but, like, also he's a pussy.
Labour Party's policies will mean all your taxes are going to go up by thousands of pounds. It is in their DNA. Mark my words. Your pension, your council tax, your home, your car, you name it, they will tax it.
Well, pensioners are not going to be better off with the Prime Minister who's making promises that he can't keep because they're not funded. That's exactly what Liz Truss got wrong. We cannot... There's one thing that we cannot repeat at this election. Please do not go back to Liz Truss Mark II with this Prime Minister, because the same damage will follow.
The whole point of nights like this is the power lies with the audience in the room, and Robert made the most of it.
Mr Sunak, I think you made a fair job of being Chancellor, but you're a pretty mediocre Prime Minister. Sir Keir, I think that your strings are being pulled by very senior members of the Labour Party. Are you two really the best we've got to be the next Prime Minister of our great country?
My primary job was to deliver.
It is literally, bro, again, identical, okay? Identical, bro.
Damn, this guy's good.